Yes, my viewers and subscribers, today is the day. West Indies versus England. Tell you, my viewers and subscribers, stepping straight out of the Ireland series. Now we are ready to face England. Last time we went up against them, we won the series. So, it's different now. We're in their backyard. Obviously, we are not excellent when it comes on to winning games away from home. But I am still expecting our guys to try and see what they can do. It's not going to be easy, especially with how we have been starting with the bat. But I'm hoping that the guys will be able to give a good account of themselves. Now, I have my keys to victory. It's been a while since I've done anything like this, keys to victory. Alright, so when I talk about keys to victory, for my new listeners who this will be the first time we're hearing about keys to victory, these are just some pointers that I highlight that I think we need to get right if we are to win the game, or if we are to put ourselves in a good position to win. So, keys to victory, my viewers and subscribers. First things first, we have to make sure that we read the condition well. We know what we're doing. I was listening to an interview yesterday, and there might be some rain. Not sure, but I think they were saying they might have some rain. So you definitely want to be sure. If it seems as if it's going to rain in the morning or in the early part of the game, if you win the toss, you want to make sure that you are on the field, you are bowling. Obviously, you have spinners in the team here, so they might be a bit worried, but I always think that batsmen tend to lose their concentration easier when they have to go on and off the field. So I would prefer if the English batsmen, if they are batting. So that we have to get that right from first. If we're batting first, we can't score nothing on a 300, right? We cannot score anything on a 300. When our bowlers restrict teams for 310, 315, 320 and we complain, you understand? I don't know. When it comes on to ODI cricket these days, that is a good total for the bowlers. You understand? So if we're batting first, I'm not saying that it's going to be a cakewalk. I know especially Adil Rashid in the playing 11. I know it's not going to be easy. It's not 4 overs he will be bowling 10 overs. So it's not going to be easy at all, my viewers and subscribers. But this is just me talking. If we can get upwards at 3, if we can get upwards at 350, 360, I work with it. You understand? Obviously I would want more, but I'm not going to be too greedy or behave as if I'm asking for too much. And this is not me saying that they will make that. I'm just saying that is what I would want to give the bowlers to work with. It's not guaranteed that they will defend it either, because our ODI bowling hasn't been the best in the world, or it hasn't been the best in a little while. You understand? If our batsmen can do that. Now in the power play, we have Brandon King and Evan Lewis. Now, those are the guys that I said would be in my playing 11 from last night. But whoever they are going to have in the playing 11, right? My thing is this. They need to maximize the power play. They have to make sure that the first 10 overs they get us off to a good start. Rotate the strike. You understand? If you are pinned down for a couple of overs, you don't need to think that you have to try and hit 5-6 or 6-6s next. It's not a T20 game. Obviously, I'm not saying that you have the entire day to bat and draw and soak up that ball. But if a bowler come in and a bowler bowl, even a maiden or a bowler, a couple of that balls in this over, you don't have to think and say, boy, you have to start going hard. That is what's happening, I watch and I say they probably want to say that they are being proactive, but you can't be proactive without being careless. You understand? You can't be proactive without being careless. So coming out of the power play would be nice. The first 10 overs there would be nice if we can and not even pushing and saying run a ball or more than running a ball. if we get 40 and 50 or something like that, you understand, with the two guys still at the crease, I would work with it. You know, it's better than 30 and for one or 30 and for two. You know, so if we can, obviously you'd want more than a runner ball, but that is the thing. You know, they're always looking to hit boundaries, and you're not going to always hit boundaries. You understand? So you don't necessarily going to get there. If you can get high 40s, 50s or so after 10 overs, and you still have the two guys there, that is good. Or you still have one of them there, right? And then we have Casey Carty. Hopefully, you know, he will be able to battle long. We know that he has the ability to tackle the pace and, you know, spin. You know, so we are hoping that he would once again forge a good partnership with Shehu in the middle. They would be there to deal with the first spell of Adil Rashid. Don't know if they're going to bowl him in 2 spells or 3. You understand? But obviously, we would want those guys to be there to bat most of it. You know, when you have left-handers in your team and they're batting at 5, 6 or something thereabout, it's good. But based on how our team look right now, you know, you would expect that Shehu and Casey Carty would do most of the batting where facing the spinners is concerned. And it's not only one spinner, right? So that is something that we need to hope as well. Shehu and Casey Carty batting majority of the overs for us. Obviously you have guys like Justin Greaves and Matthew Ford that they will look to do the power hitting. My thing is I don't want to see us starting the power hitting from over number 30, right? That would mean that we probably lose 6, 7, 8 wickets already, you know, and we still have a whole 20 or so overs to go. You know, we want to know that we are going well, and we have guys that will be able to finish off. You know, the last 10 overs is still a lot of overs, so you know, 10, 15 overs, if we still have a good amount of wickets in hand, you know, then we would be able to do what we need to do, right? So that is something that we need to make sure that we get sorted out, right? That is something that we need to make sure that we get sorted out tomorrow. You know, make sure that we are occupying the crease, rotating the strike. That is always a sore point. You understand? You know, we have guys that they are touch players. They will rotate the strike if they are there. So we are hoping that, you know, they can the guys that we want to bat, they can bat for long. You understand? This is not me downplaying England. All of this you can say, boy, is wishful thinking. I can't see in the future. I don't know what is going to happen. I'm just saying that these guys, we want them to do the thing. Raston Chase, we again would expect would be, if he's in the playing 11, we would expect him to be one of them in the middle there to help with the spin. You understand? Help to rotate the strike and the thing. You know, that when you come up against guys like these, you know, this is when you probably need a man in the middle there to give you the 50 from the 55 bars or 60 bars, and you know, to complain. You understand? So that is how we do on the batting. Now, in terms of the bowling, my viewers and subscribers, we got a strike early. The third ODI against Ireland a couple days ago, Jaden Seale struck early. You understand? We have to strike early. England, they have a nice little unit. You know, you don't want to get them, you don't want them to get going and things like that, and then have a whole lot of guys in the back end to really go at you. Especially if they're batting first and might score 400. You understand? So you definitely don't want that. So we're hoping that we'll be able to hunt in pairs. You understand? If it's Jaden Seals and Alzari again, we got to remember that remember where we are. The bag of short pitch bowling no must work. Nobody not frightened now, no. You understand? People, every now and again you might have to drop a one shot ball to, you know, shake up the place. But at the same time, you got to remember that, you know, these are guys that they constantly put their bowling machine at 150 and above and face it. I mean, conditions will be different, so you know, you can always try your short ball and pace and all of that. But we have to be smart. We have to be smart in what we're doing. You understand? So you know, if it is the case that the conditions will be offering a lot of swing, yeah, you know, we want to make sure that we're putting the ball up there, forcing the guys into the drive, you know, trying to provide opportunities for the for the wicketkeeper and the guys in the slip. And I said try to provide opportunity because the bowlers can bowl and then catch the ball now. So them brother them behind the wicket are in the slip. They need to catch the balls, right? So yeah, hunting pairs. We got to do that. Gotta make sure that we're tight in the field, very very tight in the field. You understand? The spinners, we don't want to just let it seem as if we are going through our overs. Obviously, it's ODI cricket. You don't necessarily have to take 10 wickets, but you don't just want to make the batsmen just milk it. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we are being on point, right? So that is something there that I wanted to bring forward. So yeah. Those are a couple keys to victory. There are quite a few other things that we definitely need to get right. You understand? And as I said, you can say, boy, all of this is wishful thinking, but hopefully we'll see something like that later on today. Big up on yourself, my people. Stay safe. Bless up.